Welcome to this video, which is session 2, letting Jesus come to us, because in the meditation just now we heard how Jesus went out to meet them. He went out to meet the disciples on the sea, but we're wanting Jesus to come and meet us, and that's what this particular prayer painting is all about. So what you'll need for this is a piece of paper, and you don't actually need a very large piece of paper for this one, so in fact I'm using one which is about A3. It's what's called practice paper that the SAA, Society of Amateur Artists, produce. They produce a little pack that you can try different kinds of paper, so I'm using one of those today. You'll need a pipette, which you'll find in your pack, and you'll need a wax candle, and you'll need a colour which you're going to use to represent Jesus today. Ask the Holy Spirit to show you which colour to use. I'm actually thinking of using red today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our candle, and along the bottom half of the piece of paper, but it doesn't matter if it gets on top because you're going to be doing this with your eyes shut, make marks on the bottom half of the paper which represent how you are, how you feel at this moment, all over the bottom. Put it all over this half of the paper. So I'm just going to do that now with my non-preferred hand. That's to stop me trying to control it. If you use your hand that you normally use, you might be tempted to actually put particular marks on. When this is all to do with feelings, it's all to marks made using your arm as well as your hand. So I'm going to make some marks how I'm feeling about this today, and all over the bottom here. And again, press fairly hard so that you get marks all over somewhere on the bottom of the paper. You can feel it moving then, but not that that matters. If it moves, it moves. And when you've done that, then you wet the turn it over. Start by wetting the back. And when doing prayer paintings, you wet the back first. Take my clean sponge, my water, and wet the back. And then turn it over and wet the front, making sure you've got the wax marks down towards you. You can see them if you step back and have a look. You can see the light shining on the wax marks. Just make sure they are in the right place. And then if you take your palette and you prop up the far edge of your board, you can see what I've done. There, I put it under the edge, so my board is now on a slope. Let's make sure it's nice and wet. Maybe a little bit more. Make sure it's wet all over. It needs to be quite wet for this. Then take a pipette full of your colour, lay that down there for a moment, somewhere messy, and then take your colour representing Jesus and just dribble it along the top of your piece of paper until the whole of the pipette full of colour is on there. And then watch what happens as the colour flows down the some extra water on to encourage it. And once again, you sit and watch it until you've finished thinking with the Holy Spirit about what it might mean and what the Holy Spirit's trying to show you about Jesus coming to you, and continue to ask Jesus to come to you and be with you during the retreat. Then you might think as you watch it, what happens as Jesus is surrounding the marks which represent you, and ask him to come to meet you in the same way he came out to meet his disciples all those years ago. And think about, why was he going to meet the disciples, and why might he be coming to meet you this week? And then you might like to record your thoughts in some way in your journal. As you can see, things keep on happening. What I did was, in order to encourage the water to move, I actually put the colour to move. I put water at the top, and you may have to do that. It all depends on how thick your particular colour is. And just continue to watch it and pray over it and think about what's happening on your piece of paper.